Today, I will be attempting to survive in the long dark while living off a vegan diet on Interloper difficulty. Sounds easy enough, right? Wrong. I will also need to make my way to Sundered Pass in order to grab the camera and take a photo in all 16 regions across Great Bear Island. But not only that, I will be taking these photos at a vista location in each region, which in layman's terms is a place with a great view. This challenge will see me encounter dangerous wildlife, treacherous blizzards, and some of the most beautiful scenes on Great Bear Island, all while in the pursuit for the perfect photo. This is the Steam achievement Exposure. Let's conquer it. As I randomly spawn in Hush River Valley, my plan to get to the camera is to head down into Mountain Town, through Forlorn Muskeg, and then into the DLC regions via Broken Railroad. But getting there might be more difficult than I imagined, because so far, it is not a great start. And to be honest, I usually avoid Hush River Valley unless I need to be here for a challenge, so it's safe to say I don't know this region like the back of my hand. I have no clue where in the region I am at the moment, so finding an identifying location would be a major help for me. Just when I became hyperthermic, I came across Mammoth Falls, exactly what I needed to get my bearings straight. Knowing Mammoth Falls is on the far side of HRV, I knew my best bet to get to the transition cave was through the ice caves. But first, I had to find a cave to warm up, and more importantly, find some matches. Because on Interloper, you don't spawn with matches, so this run may be over before it even begins. Luckily for me, the first cave I come across has a corpse inside, and this young chap just so happens to have some matches on him. How convenient. I managed to get a fire going and warm up with some reishi mushroom tea. Now equipped with a torch, I head back out and head towards the ice cave. Not too far away, I found the entrance and head inside, but I quickly head back out, opting to head around the side of the cave and see what spawns I got at the second corpse's campsite. I snag some peaches, which will be very delicious later on, as well as a cooking pot and a hacksaw. Both of these are great early game finds. I decide to leave the down vest, wool sweater, and dog food because that doesn't align with my vegan values. He also had a Vista Polaroid for the nearby look-off. While it's not necessary in this challenge for me to also be collecting the Polaroids, it's certainly a help for when I come back later with the camera. Just before I get back to the ice cave, I obtain the frostbite affliction on my right hand, which gives me a permanent minus 5% condition for the remainder of this run. And that's my bad, I was not paying attention to the affliction risks before I left the cave to check the campsite. So as I travel through this intricate cave system, let's discuss what it means to actually be vegan in the long dark. Here's a list of food that is deemed not vegan friendly. Most of these are obvious, like animal meat, sardines, and condensed milk, but things like tomato soup and ketchup chips are in a weird spot. Some people online have suggested that the tomato soup might be made with some animal fat or protein for the folks up north. But looking at the ingredients list on the back, there isn't anything about that and doesn't have any scribbles that might indicate extra ingredients or allergy warnings. So for this run, tomato soup will be considered vegan. Ketchup chips, on the other hand, are also a weird one. There's no legible ingredient list on the back, and after some research, it looks like some chip brands label their chips as vegan and others don't. So I can't rule out that these are not contaminated in some way or another. Therefore, I will be deeming chips in this run to be not vegan friendly. Killing animals is also a big no. This means no snaring, fishing, or hunting wildlife of any kind. If I am attacked, however, I can defend myself, but not with any tool that will cause the animal to bleed, run off, and die. Also, as you know, there are plenty of animals that may be found already deceased. Their hides and guts can be harvested and used as crafting materials. These are also off limits. Even if I find an already crafted rabbit skin hat, I cannot wear it. The same goes for leather shoes or boots. Luckily for me, the clothing I spawned with are all cotton and the running shoes are nylon. Although there has been discussion on the fact that harvesting running shoes will yield leather, the consensus, however, seems to be that this is only the case so developers didn't have to introduce another crafting material, thus convoluting the complexity of the crafting mechanic. So in this run, the running shoes are deemed vegan friendly, but I cannot use leather to repair them, which may become an issue later on. And then there's the biggest downside to being a vegan, which is the lack of owning a bedroll. There are two different types of bedrolls you can craft in the long dark, the improvised down bedroll and the bear hide bedroll, both of which are obviously off limits due to the need for animal materials. But you can also find a regular bedroll in various spawn locations. This, however, is not going to work because the description states that it is down-filled, meaning that it is also off limits and leaves me with nothing to sleep on except already existing beds. Finally leaving the ice cave, I stripped down to my undies so I can cross beneath the waterfall without soaking my clothes. Having to start a fire right away wasn't too much of an issue, but it did end up blowing out just as I was warming up. From here, all I have to do is follow the river up, picking up as many cattail stalks along the way as I can, before coming to the transition cave that'll take me into Mountain Town. Arriving in Mountain Town for the first time, I avoid the wolf off to the right and then collect the rose hips around the nearby trailer. The trailer didn't have much. The most and least notable thing was a tin of sardines, and those I can't even eat. With the sun setting, I decided to sleep in the trailer for the night and head into the town of Milton in the morning. Waking up for day 2 was making me wish I didn't. A massive blizzard system was moving through the region, and with very little clothing, it was near impossible for me to even try to make it to Milton without freezing to death. So for the next couple hours, I crafted some necessary bandages and prepared some acorns, reishi mushrooms, and rose hips for tea. After a couple hours of hard work, the storm had finally passed, so I headed out to finally get to the town of Milton. Here, I hope to stock up on clothing, food, and fire-starting material. Just as I was about to cross the bridge though, a deer came out of nowhere sprinting towards me. This startled me, as I knew something had to have scared him. And sure enough, it was a wolf. I managed to take a wide berth and sprint the rest of the way to Grandmother's house. Grandmother's house giveth. I got so many good items in here, including the lantern, a cooking pot, some cotton socks, pants, underwear, and another pair of running shoes, which I decided to leave here at the moment to save on weight. But what I didn't know is how much I would need them in the future. I also found a bunch of food in the kitchen, including flour, soda, and maple syrup, which I can use to make pancakes when I reach cooking level 2. I also came across one of the most required items in this run, colored film. This is gonna sound obvious, but when I obtain the camera, I will need plenty of film to shoot with. There are 3 different kinds of film you can find in the world. There's the colored film, like we just found, black and white, and sepia. Each will give your photo a desired look depending on what mood you wish to portray in your art. With Grandmother's house looted, I headed to the town to see what else I could find. Across the street at the bank, I found some much needed coffee. And checking the ingredients, I can confirm that coffee is vegan. But this Feastables chocolate bar, on the other hand, is definitely not vegan. I end up finding 2 other cups of coffee already prepared laying around. Woo! I check the safe and find a great looking thermos, as well as a can of gunpowder that I can use as an accelerant to start fires just a bit quicker. These are 2 early great finds on Interloper. Many of the other houses in Milton didn't have too much, with the exception of some peaches and some herbal tea, which, while they were still early great finds, it was pretty lackluster to what I found in the first 2 buildings. With that being said, I did find 2 or 3 more matchboxes, so I should be well off for quite a while. I also found 1 more box of film. This time, it was the sepia flavor. And boy, judging by the rate at which I'm finding the film, I'm gonna have so much film by the time I get the camera. I did find a bunch of clothing in the house that I couldn't keep because of my vegan affliction. Because of my beliefs. After checking all the houses, I head over to a known loot location here in Mountain Town, the Orca gas station. But first, I have to deal with a couple wolves. In the gas station, I find some much loved running river oats, now with more oats, and some ketchup chips that we have deemed not vegan friendly, so they will be staying here. I then head out to gather some nuts before it gets too dark. After dealing with a couple wolves, I just so happen to notice a tree looking a little banged up. Keeping my distance from the great beast, I harvest what I can before it starts snowing too much that I can't see these damn wolves anymore. I get back to the gas station and rest up for another big adventure on day 3. Day 3 began just like any other during an apocalypse. Wake up and try not to die from the elements. This includes wolves, which I was lucky enough not to encounter again on my way back to Grandmother's house. This beautiful home is where I plan to make my temporary home base for the rest of the day. Here I will cook up any vegan food and drinks that I can, so I won't have to worry about scavenging too much on my travels. Even though I can only eat vegan friendly food, I'm surprised at how much I've actually found and how much I'll be able to cook only on day 3. With all my food cooked, I opted to leave it outside so it doesn't expire while in my backpack. And boy, look at all this yummy delicious food. I cooked so much food throughout the entire day that my cooking level went up to level 3. And may I remind you, it is only day 3. I also repaired a bunch of clothing, or should I say attempted to, and went to bed for the night. Waking up in a comfy bed is not something I will be doing too often in this run, so it was nice to get a good snooze in while I can. I quickly heated up some reishi mushroom tea, filled up my thermos, and headed out towards Paradise Farms. But I can't forget my food, of course. Just as I get near the rope though, this wolf jumps me out of nowhere, and with my luck, the wind puts out my torch. This leaves me with only a couple stones to scare him off with. Somehow, that stone was enough to get him out of my face. And now with the blizzard in full effect, I climb down the first rope and start rethinking my life decisions. I stop right before the second rope and get inside the cave as I try waiting out the storm. While inside, I start up a cozy little fire and start frying up some rosehip pies, just what the doctor ordered. It was at this time I noticed I had obtained the well-fed bonus. You may have noticed, but this entire time I have not dropped into starvation on my hunger meter. That's because for this challenge to be considered challenging, I will also have to obtain and keep the well-fed perk throughout the entire run. The well-fed bonus is applied to your person if you stayed off starvation for 72 consecutive hours. When applied, it grants you an extra 5 kg to your carrying capacity. Now, this is less about being able to carry more weight and more about, like I said, actually making this vegan diet an actual challenge. Because if you've seen my 25 days inside Langston Mine video, you know that you can easily survive days on end off 600 calories a night, which would make this challenge way too easy, since I would only have to gather 4 cattail stalks a day and call it a night. So from the start of this run, I will not let my hunger meter run out. I will manage this by consuming anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 calories per day, depending on my exertion. This will keep me from starving and allow me to gain the well-fed bonus after day 3, which I just have. If I manage to become starving during any point in this run, I will consider it a failure and I must start over. With that being said, I was lucky and the blizzard only lasted about 2 hours or so. So I heated up as many teas as I can and headed out. Down the second rope and into the small birch forest, where I grabbed as many birch bark scraps as I could. Birch bark is a great way to make teas. It also allows you to regenerate lost condition while awake. Plus, it's also vegan, of course. I also had the opportunity to fill my pockets with plenty of cattail stalks while I was here, giving me plenty of food to keep up my well-fed bonus for quite a while. In the hermit house just off the basin, I found a cotton toque, a nice grab for me as I still barely have anything on. I then harvest what I can around the lake while dealing with the wolves a little too often. Finally, I head out of the basin and into the Forlorn Muskeg region. As soon as I enter Forlorn, I headed to the left where there's a cave. Although I don't have a bedroll on me to sleep, I have plenty of rosehip pies, which, when eaten, will give me a stamina boost. And so by chain eating a bunch of these, I can stay up the entire night and not worry about being too overtired to travel in the morning. I then went back outside just to chop some prepared food that I definitely won't forget about when I head out later. I then spent literally all night cooking food, boiling water, and repairing some clothes. When it was just barely daylight, I headed out hoping to get an early start on the day's travels. And guess who ran right past all of their food they left out? You got it. Without even realizing my mistake, I made it all the way through Forlorn Muskeg and into Broken Railroad. And that's when I realized it was far too late to turn around now. Instead, I'll grab it when I have to pass back through once I have the camera. On the bright side, I ran into this really dumb ptarmigan. After the heartbreak settled, I booked it all the way to the maintenance shed without encountering a single wolf, which is odd because on any other given day, I would have come across 2 to 4 wolves here. But whatever, I'm down for 0 wolves if that's what the long dark gods want. Either way, I found some great stuff at the shed. This includes, but is not limited to, some matches, crackers, tea, a lovely bunch of coal, fresh, never frozen toilet water, a jug of oil, camera film, and my most prized possession of all, an emergency stim. With plenty of daylight left, I warm up some tea and head out yet again. I really lucked out with weather this weekend. I then had the pleasure of walking through the world's longest railroad tunnel, and when I finally got to the end, I put down a fire to warm up just before heading out. Even though from where I was, it looked nice out, it was anything but. In the railroad car, I found a nice light shell jacket. It also doesn't specify what it's made out of, so for us, it is vegan friendly, as I can only assume it's made out of modern materials. After a long, dark walk through caves and the far range branch line, finally, I make it over to one of my favorite regions, Transfer Pass. I gather some nuts and hobbled over to the train station to loot what I could before hunkering down for the night. But there's a problem. I totally forgot that there's no bed here, and without the ability to use the bedroll and the lack of rosehip pies that I left behind, I felt the only solution was to take a fat snooze in the truck. And I thought this was gonna be a safe 5-hour nap, but I couldn't be more wrong. What the hell? Oh my God, no way. With my stamina not doing so great after that week's sleep, and with no rosehip pies left, I do what I can to warm up and then wait out the blizzard so I can climb the rope up to Sundered Pass. Climbing the rope, I'm climbing the rope, climbing really high up on the rope. Finally up, but way too exhausted, I had the pleasure of traveling through another incredibly long, narrow pass through the cliffs. I finally make it to Sundered Pass, and with quite a bit of time left in the day, but 0 energy, I decided to stop at this one cave just up from the main valley. Here, there's a can of peaches and a nice little leaf bed that I can sleep on. At this point in my run, I have accumulated quite a bit of tea. I then decided to take a snooze and wake up to the beauty that is the aurora. Waiting till the morning, I went right to the lonely cabin. Outside it, there was a couple flares, which were great finds. Inside wasn't too great, but it gave me an opportunity to heat up my tea for the millionth time. After that, I climbed up to the cliffside ledge that I'll be traversing around until I reached the rickety rope bridge. This bridge is always very sketchy, but as long as you're not wobbly, it should be easy to cross. I then attempt to climb a rope up to the weather station on what little stamina I have, which about most of the way up, I really started to struggle. So I decided to quickly slide back down, pop a stim, and charge back up, making my final ascent up to the station. Finally making it to my destination, I step inside the door and go right for the camera. I can now finally start this challenge properly. I am so jazzed that I run right outside and snap a great photo of the Canadian flag. In the shed outside, I finally find a bedroll, which if you remember, I can't even use, so it's gonna stay there. I get back to the station and hit up a fat snooze to get my condition back up. I head outside and back across the rickety rope bridge. So you remember how the whole goal of this challenge was to get a photo at each Vista location in every region? Well, one of the Vista locations in Sundered Pass is of this rope bridge. But guess who's been mighty forgetful for most of this run so far? Yep. So I forgot to take the photo. But have no fear, I will make it back later in this run and make it up to you. You just gotta hold tight. So as I head through the transition cave, I come across this beautiful frozen waterfall room. It was too bad, however, that a killer wolf just so happens to inhabit this area. Finally making it past the devil himself, I climb down a rope and find myself surrounded by glowing fungal moss. This makes a great photo op, and one that you've probably seen at the start of this video. As I finally find the exit to the cave, I come out into a beautiful sunset in the Forsaken Airfield region. Like, look at how beautiful this is. This game can actually be crazy beautiful sometimes, and I'm glad right now that I have the camera to document it. After I checked the downed helicopter, it started to get very dark out, so instead of heading over to the airfield right away, I opted to go to the cabin on the island on the lake. In the hut, I found a cooked piece of rabbit meat. The sight and smell of this absolutely disgusted me, so I had to take it directly outside and hide it under the front step. I also found a Polaroid of one of the 2 Vista locations in this region. A little foreshadowing of what's to come. I then eat some cattail stalks and drink some water before retiring for the night. I woke up on day 9, a little tired from all this traveling business, so I decided to take some time to do some more interior decorating. I move a couple items around, even setting down this Canadian flag that I've been carrying around for some reason. And with the hockey stick in place, I snap a beautiful photo. After my soul was filled, I left to try to make it to the airfield before any glimmer fog sets in. So down this hidden island path and across the frozen lake I went. I tried to collect as many cattail stalks as I could, but there were so many on the lake, I just simply couldn't do it. Once I did get to the other side of the runway, I checked the foreman's trailer, which gets me some accelerant and a loaded jerry can of oil. I see the control tower come into view just over the crest of the hill. And as I arrive, I check the first part of the building and I find another bedroll, which is again, useless. But inside the tower gave me some good items, like more camera film, a flare gun, and a handheld radio, which launched the DLC quest line. But that I won't be doing right now, but it's nice to get. With no shells for the flare gun, I checked out the other buildings before the main hangar. Here I was lucky enough to find one shell that could be the saving grace against a close call wildlife encounter. This building also gave me another great photo opportunity. Just a little repositioning of some things and boom, another absolutely stellar photo. This place also gave me a low condition parka, another cotton toque, and a beautiful plaid thermos. As the darkness grows, I finally head over to the main hangar to scavenge what I can. It was here I found the recipe card for the camber flight porridge. I'm doubtful I'll have time to gather the ingredients to make it, but I'll still take it just in case I do. Did you know there are actually 9 different recipe cards to be found around the world of the Long Dark? Plus another 4 you can acquire from the trader in Coastal Highway. There's not much more in this hangar besides a marine flare and a teddy. So I spent the rest of the night fixing up some clothes, including the ragged parka that I had just found. With a solid sleep under my belt, I wake up to see the Christmas lights illuminated on the shelf. But it's during the day, so what's up with that? Well, I'll tell you what's up with that. That is the glimmer fog. Glimmer fog is a unique variant of fog that you will only come across in the DLC regions. It's very thick and will carry an electric charge that will allow you to use any items that you could otherwise only use during an aurora. Besides not being able to see 5 feet ahead of you while traveling, if you've been exposed for long enough, the glimmer fog can also cause the unique affliction, insomnia. Insomnia is kind of like cabin fever, except you can still sleep anywhere at any time. But instead, this affliction will wake you up at random times throughout your sleep, denying you of the benefits of a full night's rest. The only way to negate this affliction is by staying in a basement or underground location, like the hangar basement, or by traveling to another location without glimmer fog. So with that being said, I take the Christmas lights upstairs and do my favorite pastime activity, decorating. That front door is looking mighty fine. Knowing that the glimmer fog will most likely be around most of the day, I spend the rest of it down in the basement, mending clothes and heating up some food. I wake up bright and early on day 10 and am welcomed with some lovely weather. From the hangar, I make a left and head right up the side of the cliff. Here is where I came across my first Vista location. And it's the same one from the Polaroid I found a couple days ago. And just like that, I snap a beautiful photo and can check Forsaken Airfield off my Vista location list. Leaving Forsaken Airfield and back into Transfer Pass, I bide my time in the railside building, planning my route into the dreaded zone of contamination. While I was here, I realized that I needed to head back into Sundered Pass to snap that picture that I missed. So my plan was to head into the zone of contamination, go directly to the left, hit up the Vista location just outside the Welkins Window Cave, then head into the transfer cave directly ahead and enter Sundered Pass, thus grabbing the photo of the bridge that I missed. But as I headed out the very same day to do all of this, it did not go as planned. I found myself instead heading straight to the idle camp, and then following that up with a quick jaunt over to the concentrator building. But not without first going on a little side quest through the mines, because no matter how hard I try, I cannot stay away from these shafts. I did, however, find a nice emergency stim down there, but by the time I got up and out of the mines, I had to find a truck to sleep in for the night. On day 11, I woke up to the sun shining and headed up to the top floor of the concentrator building. It's almost like the woodworking tools were calling out to me with the way the sun was shining on them. The reason I came over here was for the tools, because if I wanted to continue this run after this challenge was finished, I wanted them so I could customize my bases more. Now with the woodworking tools, I headed back towards where I originally planned to go. After fighting my way through several contaminated wolves, I finally make it over to the ledge look-off, and while it's a little underwhelming, I still try to frame it the best I can. With the ZOC crossed off my list, I headed to the transition cave, which conveniently is the same one I took to get out of Sundered Pass in the first place. I quickly get through without much incident this time, and very quickly get to the rope bridge and snap a pretty good photo. Now I know some people might say that the actual vista location is to the left a bit and it looks towards the bridge from a cliffside, but to that I say, I think this photo is much nicer, and this is my challenge and I do what I want. So with Sundered Pass crossed off the list, I make my way to the nearby ice cave to warm up, while also taking a lovely photo while I'm there. Once I'm somewhat warm, I head back out into the blizzard in an attempt to just get back to the cave and into Forsaken Airfield for the second time, but not before the cougar shows up. The new version of the Cougar, aka Cougar 2.0, is quite a challenge while on Interloper. As an Interloper, it only takes 10 days for it to spawn, and when it spawns, it will have a territory in almost every region. These will be marked on your map. Also, when you get close to their territory, you will start to see their markings on the trees, just like with the moose, and you'll definitely hear its cry. The cougar has two different strikes. They can do the quick pass-by scratch, just like the timberwolves, but it could also do the animated cutscene attack, just like the bear or moose. The damage from both can be deadly, as they're known to cause severe lacerations, tear clothing, and generally make your day much, much worse. Having the cougar now in the world with me is going to make this challenge much more dangerous, as I will not be able to use the bow against it and my defense will be very much limited. However, the cougar does not bleed out like the bear or wolf. Luckily for me, I didn't have to go right up to its territory. Instead, I slipped right by and into the transition cave, thus leaving the cougar in my rear view for the time being. This time, I didn't encounter the wolf in the cave, so I'm not sure where he went or if he despawned, but in the moment it was nice not to deal with him, even though I was convinced he was about to jump out at me from behind every corner. Instead of heading right back out into Forsaken Airfield, I found a moss bed to sleep on for the night, which is great because I noticed I was starting to contract cabin fever, although I thought I was doing enough traveling to avoid that, but I guess not. When I awoke on day 12, I make my way to the cave and into the Forsaken Airfield region. Amazingly, when I enter the region, I get another spectacular photo op. Last time it was the sunset. This time it's the sunrise. As I head towards the cliff ledge to get up and out of this region like last time, I notice it's getting a little bit too foggy out. And then it hits. Once this glimmer fog hit, I lost all trace of where I was going. Every tree looked the same, every crest I climbed over just led me to more of the same thing. And just as I was starting to get very cold, I came across a cave on the cliffside and a buddy to give me some company. I was hoping after spending an hour or two making tea and warming up that the fog would have dissipated by now. But nope, that sucker is holding on for dear life. Luckily for me, staying in this cave totally gets rid of my cabin fever affliction risk. But unluckily for me, it's replaced by the full-on insomnia affliction, which isn't really too bad, just slightly annoying. With the fog deciding to stick around, I headed out as I didn't have a bed inside the cave and was getting very tired. I traveled around to the left side of the cave trying to find the climbable ledge to get up and out of the region, but to no avail. The fog was making me very disoriented and my sense of direction was completely thrown off. I believe I was very close to the way out, but had no idea how close. So to avoid being out for any longer, I decided I would just head down the hill in a straight line and get to the hangar. That could have been a very big mistake, because as soon as I left the tree line, it was like entering a dream state. The ground was buzzing with electric energy, the fog was glowing different colors around me, and I thought I was hearing things. I tried my hardest not to turn around too many times, but a couple times I just had to for the fear of a wolf being right behind me. Thus, it kept throwing me slightly off my course. I walked through this thick fog for what felt like 5 to 10 minutes, and I knew the airfield probably wasn't that far away. I then finally came across a downed tree and realized I had made a weird circle somehow. So I did a 180 and headed back the other way. Finally, I reached the edge of the landing strip and followed it to the hangar. At this point, I was drained, so I went right down to the basement and crushed a big old snooze after having wasted most of the day getting lost. I was lucky enough to wake up to some beautiful weather, enough so to start a fire and get my teas warm for my travels. I have a breakfast of cattail stalks and head out towards the cliff where I couldn't find the ledge the day before. I make it up to the vista location once again, and I get here what I think is a better photo this time. Once back into Transfer Pass, I head right up to the lookoff Broad Airy. Although this isn't technically a vista location, it's the best damn lookoff in this small region. I then head down to the train station to make up some peaches, and as I head back out, it begins to snow once again. Now with the fire territories finished, I headed back through the longest traversal regions in the game, only once encountering a wolf in the far range branch line. Then, after finally completing the long walkthrough of the train tunnel, I make it back into Broken Railroad once again. Here, I'll have to go up to the hunting lodge and snap a photo from the cliffside behind it, overlooking the lakeside forest and possibly the maintenance shed if I can see it from there. There is actually no vista location in this region, but for the exposure achievement, I will still need to take a photo here, so I may as well take it where I think it'd do this region justice. Luckily, on my way past the lake, I didn't once run into any wolves or the bear. Once I reached the lodge, I snapped a very lovely photo of it, then headed inside and looted what I could from the first floor. I got a skill book, flour, matches, and some crackers. Then, before checking the rest of the place, I went back outside while the weather was nice and aimed my camera off the cliff. While the lake wasn't visible, I still managed to get a lovely picture of the shed with the mountains in the background. Once back inside, I lit a fire and searched the rest of the house. I find plenty of goodies, including more film, an emergency stim, another bedroll I can't take, and this festive holiday sweater. I then spent the rest of the snowy night indoors cooking up plenty of pancakes and my second favorite kind of pies. Day 14 brought me another beautiful morning, so I didn't waste any time and headed right out of the lodge. Once down the rope, I get to the maintenance shed, but already having searched this location, I only used it to warm up and headed back into Forlorn Muskeg once again. Taking major advantage of this weather, I went right up towards the shortwave tower up near the cave where I had previously left all my food, which by now is probably inedible. Either way, I get up to the tower and find a lovely worn plaid shirt in the bin beside it. With the photo acquired, I head back through the cave and finally make it to my poor sweets that are most definitely not good for me to eat anymore. However, that doesn't stop me from taking them just in case I get really hungry. I once again head back into the cave to warm up and then head back out into the Milton Basin. I keep popping pies like they're nothing, thus giving me a nasty headache while I try to keep my energy up for the double rope climb ahead. The wolves on the basin were annoying, but nothing I couldn't handle. The double rope climb this time around was a piece of cake, or should I say, pie. Please don't encourage me. Now up into the main part of the mountain town region, I go right to the Vista location, which is the second shortwave tower just above the town of Milton. I get a great photo of the tower itself, and then one of the aptly named scenic look-off. By this time, it was getting very late, so for what I think is the third night in this challenge, I went to grandmother's house to spend the night. After getting the fire roaring, I grabbed the shoes I had left upstairs and throw them on. The contamination in the ZOC really caused some major wear and tear to my kicks, so much so that I thought I was going to be shoeless for a while, so I'm uber glad that I had a backup pair waiting for me. I then make my bed for the night and hit the hay. In the morning, I wake up and take a lovely photo of my tea in front of the fire. I then head out into the frigid cold once again. My plan today is to deal with this wolf, then go to the place where this all started, Hushed River Valley. So far into this challenge, I've been doing what seems like a lot of backtracking. But once I get the photo in Hushed River Valley, I will be free to head through Mountain Town for the last time and get the remainder of the regions. Wait, before you go any further, I have a mission for you. If you like my content and wish to support me in my future endeavors, please feel free to click that subscribe button. It would really help me out. And while you're at it, check out my membership tiers. Starting at just $1 a month, you can have early access to videos, behind the scenes posts, and a nut badge beside your name. And for a little more, you could get your name in a video, just like this fellow right here. Thank you so much for your support, That Guy Kilbride. Now, please enjoy the live stream portion of this video. Brother, go, 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 go! Got the cougar? Yeah, he's up actually behind the church, which is great. I love that. I'm not gonna try to drink all my teas right now. I'm literally just gonna go in here for a second because if this picks up anymore, I don't want to be outside, but also the cave is there. I just don't want to be in Hushed River Valley while the storm is a-blowing, you know? See, the sardines are here. That's great, but we can't eat it because we're vegan. So we made a lot of pancakes. We let them go off. They are not good. So you can't use a bedroll? Nope, no bedrolls. So I just have to use beds that I find. You can see I don't have a bedroll in my inventory. The plan is I have these, check it out. I have these rose hip pies. There's a lot of ruined ones, okay? So just ignore those, but we're almost cooking level 5 so we can eat them. We're very close to cooking level 5. And then when I get cooking level 5, we can eat them because we won't get sick from them. That's what we're going for. That's what we're going for. Let's sleep for an hour and just see if we can get past this storm. If it doesn't pass, I'm kind of stuck. And this storm did not blow by. I'm thinking I might just head over. I'm kind of burning daylight. I would hate to stay here for the night. I didn't want to stay the night in Hushed River Valley. That's the thing. And it's already noon. I might wait out the night here. The wind literally just cut out. It was so sharp. I will do it. I will wait till tomorrow. Okay, let's make some water at least. It probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to wait another day, just so I can get some of this weight off me, because I'm carrying so much junk, dude. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wait another day, because I wanted to get the head start into Hushed River Valley, you know? I wanted to go right in the dawn, get in there, get the photo at the Pensive Lookout, at the Vista, and then get out, just so I can come back here and rest, or at least come back to the transition zone and get to the trailer, because I don't want to be there for the night, you know? What the f was that? You guys hear that? Am I going crazy? That sounded like there was somebody sitting right here and like they flipped a book. That was kind of creepy. Does that happen when you're in the church? Is there ghosts in here? Is there actually ghosts in here? Yeah, it might be haunted. I'm convinced. Oh, I hear the cougar. You guys hear that? Is he actually like he's really close to me. Now listen to that. Okay, I'm going to the trailer. After a lengthy campfire talk with chat, the weather lets up, but with it being so late, I decide to move closer to the transition cave by spending the night in the trailer. I get to the trailer, which just so happens to be the very same first indoor location I spent time at in this run. I crush the snooze and wake up to another blizzard passing through. Oh, good. See, this is what we were trying to avoid last time. With not much travel-ready weather, I fix up some clothing and fill my stomach up until the storm passes. Okay, I'm gonna run for it. With the storm done and plenty of time left in the day, I decided to turn my boosters on and get in and out of HRV as quickly as I could. While the weather was still nice just as I entered HRV, my travels in this region will take me to the Many Falls Vista Rope, which may be named Vista, but it's not the one we're going to. I want to get over and take a photo from the pensive vista. And to do so, I will need to traverse down a rope and into the valley. Then I will need to ascend 2 more ropes, while also needing to descend them just to backtrack through the valley. This means that the rosehip pies and emergency stims will play a major role in this region. Each of the pies gives me a nice little bump to my fatigue meter, allowing me to recover a little bit of energy when I need it. Is there anything down here that I'm gonna run into bear-wise, moose-wise? I don't see anything right now. The other rope is over there. Do you see that? There's one rope there, and then it's like over there. We're gonna climb 2 ropes at once. That's the plan. Let's go. I hope I have enough stuff. I got 2 stims on me. I hope I don't have to use them. If I have to use them, I'll use them. With the first rope down, I head across the valley, pop a pie, and quickly scurry up the first of 2 ropes. I'm gonna pop another pie. It gives us a little perk, a little bonus, a little energy bonus. And right after this, there's another freaking rope too. So I might pop another pie. I'm not gonna be hungry enough, I don't think. Making it up the first one, I set down a fire so I can stay warm while I chop down some of these bushes that are in the way. I then pop a second pie and head up this extremely long rope. We're going up, we're going up. Oh, this is a long rope. Okay, I might have to stop twice. I'll stop once at least. Get to this ledge. There we go. Look at that. Easy, GG. Finally at the top, I look off the pensive vista location and snap an alright photo of the foggy valley below. With HRV crossed off the list, I head into the cave to warm up. Once I get a few in me, I scurry down the 2 ropes. As I try to cross the valley though, the weather starts to pick up. Oh my god, blizzard. I think I go under this tree and it's to the left, I think, the rope. Yep, right here. I'm gonna eat another pie. I got 2 more pies. Okay, we're going up, we're going up. He's gonna be slow, he's gonna be so slow. Ah, maybe I should have used the stem. No, I think he's fine. Sprain risk. Oh no. Okay. No, this rope is going far. I'm using the stem, I'm gonna pop it, I don't care. I got 2, I'm gonna have to. Okay, we're going up, we're going up. Go, 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 go. Fatigue reduced. Nice, look at that, what a view. And we are about to get hit, we're about to be exhausted, but we just have to get back to the entrance. Dead deer, dead deer. If I hug the left, we should be good. We should be good. There's a way. Oh, I do have to go up the rope. That's right, because I mountain goat down here. Dang, I'm going to have to use both stims. That sucks. I'll do it. I'll do it. That's fine. Where else am I going to use the stims at? I'd rather just get out. All right. We're stimming it up. We're going. We're going. 2 encumbered? No way, dude. Drop something. Drop something. There we go. Okay, go, 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 go. Quick, quick, quick. Oh my god, wasting time. Hush River Valley sucks for that. There's a lot of climbing. It's like Ash Canyon, you know, when you go around the left way. I feel like he's not going to have the time on the stim. I'm kind of stressing, Don't fall. Don't you dare follow me. Oh, we're so good. Let's go. Okay, I am a little lost. I'm just going to hug the left wall. I think that's the best. Oh yeah, there it goes. It thins out. Okay. I am exhausted. I am freezing, but we are so ready. It should be right here, right? Yep, perfect. Whew. Close one, chat. Well, okay, we're gonna light a fire and then I'll head out. We'll get warm. Nice, 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 nice. Look at this. What? The signal fire is right here? Okay, I've gone too far. Dang, dude. I think you're at Southern Signal Fire. I am. That's a weird loop, dude. Well, there's stuff over here. There's actually a snow shelter. Mysterious signal fire. That is so mysterious. That's a nice photo. Let's change to our color camera. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Colored photo. Incredible. What is this? I can't eat it. No, dog food. That's not vegan. A piece of moose meat. That ain't vegan. I can't eat that. Heavy wool. I can't wear heavy wool. Oh, look at that. That's nice. That's nice. There we go. Take a photo. As the darkness falls, I head towards the transition cave. But first, I must cut down some of these bushes that are blocking my path, deal with this wolf more than once, collect some more rose hips, and cut down some bushes that are blocking my path. And then by a stroke of luck, I find my second party Tarmy. Post-party, I went back through the cave into Mountain Town. What a beautiful night. And luckily, no Aurora tonight. Thank God, because there's a wolf right here somewhere. I didn't want to spend the night in Hush River Valley, and we didn't have to. Plus, like, I can't because I don't have a bedroll. Is that the wolf over there? Yes, that is. He's behind the tree. Yeah, definitely the wolf because he's moving behind the tree. We made it. We made it to the trailer. Finally making it to the trailer, I stay here for the night, ready to head out of Mountain Town the next day. As I already had the photo in Mountain Town, there was no need for me to be here anymore, but the transition cave into the next region, Mystery Lake, is all the way across this region. So to make a long journey short, I ran from this trailer to Grey Mother's house, warmed up, then ran through town and into the Orca gas station. From there, I said hi to this wolf and up towards the park look off. I climbed down the rope, ran down into the valley, and right up the next rope. The only thing left to do here is follow this path up and into the cave, which will take me out into Mystery Lake. It was getting quite snowy and late when I entered the trapper's cabin. This is originally where I planned to stay the night tonight, but after much contemplation and with a little help from the lights of the aurora, I decided to head towards the aforementioned Mystery Lake. And on the way, I got 2 lovely sprains. But after using 2 of my very few bandages, I managed to make it to the camp office. Here is where I also plan to snooze, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to head up to the very close vista location on the top of the cliffside. This looks down onto Mystery Lake, and even though I was becoming exhausted and shaking from the cold, I took one of the best photos yet. Now with Mystery Lake crossed off my list, I was finally ready to rest for the night, but not before being taunted by another bedroll find. The next morning, I head out to Carter Hydro Dam. I make it over to the dam, and of course with my luck, a blizzard halts my travels. So as I pop into the trailer for a quick look inside, I ended up taking a little snooze as I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. When I wake up, it is fully nighttime now and the blizzard is still raging. So I head over and get into the safety of the dam. Here I come across a couple of great items. I get a pretty good sleep and head out in the morning to see an absolutely beautiful day. So beautiful that I head right into the ravine, which is just a short transition zone. So there's no need for me to actually take a photo here in this challenge, but I do anyway. Then I head across this very sketchy down tree. Heading this way will lead me into the coastal highway region, but what I really want to do first is find a rope to attach to the rock that was just before the wreck of a train. Descending it will take me into the Bleak Inlet region, but I couldn't find the rope here anywhere. So I told myself if it wasn't in the last cave before Coastal Highway, then I would just head there and I would get down to Bleak Inlet a little bit later. But as I get to the last cave, bing bang boom, there it is. So backtrack I did. After setting it up, I quickly descend and luckily find another emergency stim. I then continue my little routine of collecting all the rose hips, reishi mushrooms, and cattail stalks before I enter Bleak Inlet. Now in Bleak Inlet, I start to feel a little uneasy. While the weather is amazing for this time of year, I know that this is one of the few regions that the dreaded Timberwolves call home. If you've seen my other videos, you may have seen me deal with these bad boys before, but if you haven't, let me give you a quick rundown. Timberwolves are not like your average wolf. These wolves are pack hunters, meaning they travel in a pack with anywhere from 2 to 8 wolves. If you get close enough to get their attention, you must do basically one of these 3 things. 1. Kill enough of the pack and the rest will flee. 2. Try to escape by finding a cliff to scale or an indoor location to hide in. Or 3. Drain their morale meter, which will show up at the bottom when they're in attack mode. To do this, you must scare them off using torches, flares, gunshots, or the flare gun. However, for this challenge, I have 0 guns, and while I have a flare shell, if I accidentally hit one and kill it, then that would be the end of my challenge. So my only option is to take them on with torches and flares, or I could try to flee safely, wherever that may be to. So you probably think that I'm about to run into some Timberwolves now, huh? Well, you'd be so wrong, but it might be some subtle foreshadowing. Now I go right down and into the Firewatch Tower. This tower overlooks a nice little portion of the region. But while a nice photo could be taken here, the actual vista location in this region is over by the Echo 1 radio tower, which isn't too far away from here actually. So with the weather still bussin', I jog down the main road, across a short bridge and into the control hut. There are a few goodies here, but with nothing too spectacular, I head back outside. And by this time, the fog is starting to set in. Just my luck. Because while I get a nice photo of the tower itself, the look off behind it that overlooks the basin is pretty much fully obscured. But a photo is a photo, and with Bleak Inlet crossed off my list, I head back to where I entered the region. Instead of leaving right away, I decided to spend the night in the Firewatch Tower. After starting a fire, I noticed that the sunset cast a beautiful pink streak across the sky. So with little hesitation, I went out and got one of the best photos of the challenge yet. It might be even better than the Lake Vista look off in Mystery Lake. Let me know what you think. I also got this one of the tower itself. I think both of them are stunning. I somehow luck out again with another beautiful view in the morning. So with no time to spare, I get up and out of the region, leaving behind the dreaded Timberwolves that I was so lucky enough to avoid, at least for now. Now back in the ravine, I traverse up the rope I had set the day before, across the fallen tree bridge, and this time into the coastal highway region. But not before grabbing a wicked photo of the sketchy trestle you got across. Now at Coastal Highway, I hit up a few trailers and cabins while on my way to the only vista location in this region. And this one is actually at the Firewatch Tower this time. I also got pretty jump scared by this wolf as he was just over the crest of the hill. But after using a marine flare to scare him away, I make it to the fire watchtower and snap a lovely photo of the basin below. Now with Coastal Highway also off the list, I climb down a couple sets of ropes and hit up a cabin where I find some more matches. Slay. And then I accidentally find myself coming face to face with the biggest brute in all of the land. I thought heading up the hill and then back down would be far away enough for him not to charge, but I was so wrong. As I struggled to get away, I jumped a little too high off the rocks and tore a little bit of clothing and got some bruising, but it was so much better than getting mauled by that bear. Now with the bear far away enough from me, I get myself to my favorite base location, Quonset Garage. There were a lot of nice little goodies here also, so I spent the rest of the night making some food, fixing some clothing, and planning my route for the morning. In the morning, I was quick with it. I warmed up some tea, lit my torch, and I was gone. I thought I'd see the bear when I left the garage, but no dice. Thank God. However, it was a tad foggy, but as I got closer to the Crumbling Highway transition region, it got a hell of a lot nicer. Crumbling Highway is another one of these transitional regions, where I don't actually need to take a photo, but for the sake of consistency, I snapped a pretty good one. I get through here rather quickly, then through the mine and into Desolation Point. As I exit the mines, my goal here is to get over to the lonely lighthouse that overlooks the harbor. Since there isn't actually a vista location here, this will act as one just fine. On my way over, I run into this wolf more than once, and get over to the halfway point at Stone Church. I always love staying at the Stone Church, as it's not considered an indoor location, so you won't ever get cabin fever, yet it holds the warmth of the insides of a cave. Plus, there's a dead guy in here. Ready to head back out, I snap a quick photo of the church and its final remaining stained glass window. I cross the road and bridge, and with the beautiful sky in the backdrop, I also get this incredible shot of the lighthouse. Inside, I snagged this guaranteed emergency stim, making that 2 in my inventory. I also grabbed the running river oats, more film, and a very heartbreaking note left behind. Thus far into my run, I'm pretty content with my clothing and item loadout. The only things I'd probably pick up from this point on are stims, a little extra vegan food, and some matches. Unless I find better clothing, of course, but I doubt that'll happen. Getting to the top of the lighthouse, I snap a nice picture of the shipwrecked Rickon, just off in the distance. I decide to crash here for the night and get ready for a long haul in the morning. With another region crossed off the list, I head out and stop by the church yet again, and this time get a picture that might represent my future. The rest of the travels consists of backtracking through the couple regions and back into the garage in Coastal Highway. Here I snoop around some cars while avoiding the wolves that have decided to camp outside for some reason. Then I stick it out inside for another night to enjoy my favorite base once more. I've been getting way too comfortable in these indoor locations, so much so that I've started to contract cabin fever for the second time this run. So out I go again, and with very little indoor locations in Timberwolf Mountain and Ash Canyon, I should have no problem getting rid of it. As I get past the Firewatch Tower for the last time, I snap a photo adding it to my growing collection. Instead of exiting into the ravine, I opt to go through the mine and into Pleasant Valley. Here I need to get up to Signal Hill and snap a photo off the side of the cliff, which should be fairly easy to do. I spend the first day when entering the region by looting the hotspots. That being Thompson's Crossing Community Center and Molly's Farmstead. After a blizzard blew through, I went right up to the tower the next day and snapped a very foggy photo off the cliff. It's not the best photo, but I can't control the weather. It was here that I claimed the Shutterbug achievement. Only 0.1% of players have claimed this before me. This isn't the achievement that we came for, but it certainly is nice to get. Afterwards, I went right back to the homestead, but with the blizzard having taken up most of my day, I opted to stay here for the second night in a row, which certainly doesn't help my cabin fever affliction. I've lost track of the days by now, but I believe it's around day 28, and we are finally so close to finishing this challenge. If you've been following along, the only regions I need now are arguably the most difficult ones in terms of travel and hostile wildlife. We have Timberwolf Mountain, Black Rock, and Ash Canyon. So without further ado, I leave the house as early as I can, and with this beautiful weather, I was able to make it to the plane wreck and loot what I could, as well as easily make it over to the rope that takes me into Timberwolf Mountain. From here, I go right over to the only suitable base location, the Mountaineering Hut. Here, I stock up on matches and hot tea. In this region, my goal is not to go to the summit, but instead go to Andre's Peak, as I can't ever recall actually being there. Plus, it's very close to the transition region that will take me into Black Rock. As I stay here for the night, I was once again greeted with the aurora, which gave me this amazing photo of the hut under the lights. Even though some of these days seem fairly quick, they are anything but. There's a lot of walking involved, and as you know, I ain't showing all that. So as the next day dawns, I leave the only suitable base in the region behind. I then step out onto the lake and immediately encounter a wolf. After dealing with him, I get up the rope that's across the lake immediately. And guess who is chilling up here? I head left, and right away I am ambushed by 2 wolves. And the flight crates I came over here for aren't here. I guess they don't spawn on Interloper, so that was a waste. But now I have to get past this bear and these wolves. I go over to the cliff face, hoping I could sneak around the bear, but not without alerting the wolves, of course. I deal with them a little bit too much here, and they are a pain pain in the ass. Luckily for me, the bear was far away enough that if I squeezed myself as close to the cliff as I could, he wouldn't enter his charge phase just yet. He sensed me, but it was just enough that I could run up the hill and quickly get away. I did end up getting a sprain on my way up though, but nothing I couldn't bandage. I had to stop before getting to the Vista location so I could start a fire and warm up, because at this altitude, it is extremely cold out. Just as I finally get up towards Andre's Peak, a massive blizzard hits. This obstructs my view and I can't get a nice photo. So I opt to hide in the nearby cave inlet and pass some time. After a couple hours, it finally ended and I ran over and got an alright picture looking down the mountain. Now that I only have 2 regions left to go, I get over to the nearby transition cave. This will take me into the Black Rock region, home of the Black Rock Penitentiary. This is one of those caves that has water in it, and I am not a fan, because anytime I came across some water, I'd have to go into my menu and take off my shoes. But every time I did, I would opt to get fully naked anyway. As I finally get into Black Rock, I was a bit nervous, because if you remember in my last video, I spawned in Black Rock and there were so many timberwolves. But luckily, when I headed down the hill, there was none to be seen. With nothing in the trailer and the temperature dropping quickly, I stopped by this little farm shed to light a fire and craft some healing birch bark tea. I say healing because birch bark tea will actually regenerate your condition by 5% over the next 2 hours, even if any of your vitals are not met, which is going to come in handy as I try to make it through the freezing cold and to the prison before it gets too dark. As I head towards the prison, I was feeling good. Sure, it's pretty chilly outside, but with my tea in me and with the sunset giving me a crazy beautiful show, I thought all of my troubles were behind me, but it turns out they were actually waiting just over this hill. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, Jesus. Oh, throw the rock. Oh my God. Why did I throw the rocket? It doesn't do anything. I need the flare. I need the flare. Flare and then fire. Bro, start the fire. Start the fire. Oh my God. Dude, I don't know how many there are. It's getting really late too. Dude, stay away. Oh my God, there's actually so many. Oh. Right, they're trying to surround me too. I gotta use another flare. I gotta use another one. Oh my God, rip flares. Oh, dude. Oh, geez, they're trying to surround me so bad right now. I'm caught in the open. This is not the spot. Jesus. Dude, get out of here. As long as I stay on the opposite side of the fire. But, yeah, that's right, bitch. Get out of here. Guys, get out of here. Jesus Christ. Bro, just let me finish. We don't need this. I don't need this right now. Bro. Oh my God, there's so many. Get out of here. Jesus. Oh my God, they're relentless, man. They're relentless. Did they go? Okay. Okay. I think I'm good for now. Oh my God. Jeez. Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ, stop. Get out of here. Oh, it's just jump scare after jump scare. Okay, okay. I can get over here. I can still catch the sunset. Bro, their footprints are over here. I don't know where they are. I didn't fully drain their meter either. They're gonna come back. I just know they're gonna come back. Do I go around? I think I can go around. Jesus. They're literally everywhere. Oh, he's down there. Dude, mess off. Oh my God, their prints are up here. They've been up here. Oh, I gotta watch it up here. I don't know where they are. Whoa, look at that photo. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Oh, oh yes. Ooh, baby. What a photo. What a freaking photo. I'm so happy we got that photo. That is actually excellent. No way. Oh, bro, get out of here. Actually, get out of here. Bro. Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus. Okay, come on. Okay, oh my God, blood loss. Come on, heal something. Come on, stop the blood. That's actually fucked up. I hate that. I got attacked right there. Bro, are they all gonna come up here? Bro, okay, this fence on the left side should keep them at bay, but I literally have nothing. I got torches again, and it's getting so dark. I'm freezing to death. I'm losing a lot of condition, hypothermia, and if they get me again, that could be it. They're not coming close enough for me to scare them. They're kind of just hovering down there. I don't know where they are. I don't know if all of them are here though. I feel like the pack is split up now. I still got the meter. I'm not going down until the meter's gone. Here they come. Get out of here, dude. Get out of here. Bro, I'm scared they're on the right side behind the rock. I can't see. Jesus. Yeah, make a barrier with these torches. That's literally my best bet right now, just to build a wall. At least they're staying away down. Dude, he's trying to get by. You see him? He's getting stuck on the torches, which is the game plan. Is that it? Are they gone? Oh, here they come. Oh my God. Get out of here, dude. Oh my, I can't believe. Okay, their meter's gone. I think I'm fine. If I go down. Oh, I don't want to get caught out again because I know the meter didn't drain fully again. So, okay. Get to the prison. Come on. I'm going to use the rest of my energy. just to get to the prison. By the time I got to the prison, it was hella dark, and I still had to cross the grounds and skirt by several wolves to make it to a bed. Did I mention that I hate Blackrock? With great difficulty, I had finally made it across the yard and into a safe spot for now. But there wasn't really any spot to sleep here, so I went down into the steam tunnels beneath the prison, where I thought there might be a makeshift bed. Alas, there was none, but the rose hip pies saved me from becoming too exhausted to the point that I would start losing more condition. So with no bed, I headed back up to the maintenance shed. Here, I crafted and passed time until the morning. Of course, there was a blizzard when the sun came up, so I waited until it finally went away, then lit a fire to warm up, and out of the prison I went. Scared to death I would run into the Timberwolves yet again. I keep sipping on my birch bark tea until I get a good 65% condition back. But a good attack or two could still mean the end of the line for me. And with only one region left to go, I could not let this happen. So as I walk down the center of the road, I keep my senses on high alert, getting ready for another fight before I leave this cursed region. To my relief, I made it all the way back to the cave without running into them again. They must have been too sheepish to challenge the mighty Grape. Back through the wet cave I go, and on the other side, I emerge into the goddamn foggiest day in Timberwolf Mountain history. It is a nice change, however, as with the fog comes warmer temps that won't freeze you instantly, but also comes with the downside of not seeing predators until it may be too late. So with the fog obscuring my vision, I didn't want to risk too much, especially with one region remaining. So I snuck into a nearby cave while waiting out the night and making more pies. First thing in the morning, I hike it all the way over to the transition cave that'll take me to my victory. First, a little rope climb, no bears, no wolves, just a big old dub in Grapey Boy's sights. Entering Ash Canyon, I knew there were a couple wolves around here, so I caught their attention and scared them with ease. Nothing can stand between me and this final photo. My plan here is to get up to Wolf Jaw's Overlook, which has one of the nicest views on all of Great Bear Island. The cliffside extension also resembles a wolf's head, and I think that is pretty sick. But before I arrive there, I must traverse around the left side of this region, coming to a very daunting pass where I must ascend 3 climbing ropes in a row. But with the couple stims I have left, this should be a fairly easy feat for me to pull off. So as I close in on my final few climbs, I hear something in the distance that chills me to my core. You hear that? Holy shit. I didn't think he'd be right down there. Bro, okay, he's closer than I thought. I don't know if I can go right to the ropes like I wanted to. I feel like I can. I feel like I can go down. I feel like I can. Because I think I can put the fire down. Do what I do with the Timberwolves. I don't think he can go by the fire. I think I might try that. Let me get some of these just in case. My energy's really good right now. I would much rather try to get up the ropes. I think I'm going to try. I think I'm going to try to get close to him. I'm going to light the fire and try to dance around him. I think that might be the plan. My condition's good right now. My condition's very good. Because I think I can set the fire down. And then once I set the fire down, he won't be able to come near me. So I just got to get it up before he gets to me from his charge. So I've got the most energy right now. And then I'll probably get up the first rope without the stim. Maybe second rope pop a pie. I think I really only need 1 stim. I didn't think I would run into a cougar this run. Not going to lie. I thought I was going to skirt by all of them. I didn't even look at the map. I totally forgot to look at this one when I entered. I know it's a tight little spot over here, but I think I can get by him. I'm pretty sure I can get by him. We'll see. We'll see. I would love to get up this hill. I don't think I can get up this hill, though. I think I'm going to have to go through the valley. I think I'm going to test my luck. I think I can do it, though. I'm fairly confident in my abilities. Think I see him. Oh, my God. My eyes are so bad. Oh, I see him. I do. Okay. He's not that far. I'm not 100% sure where his charge range is, though. Okay, I'm going to try to go up around the left side. He was going up towards the right, so I wonder if I could hug the left enough to get around him. And then if he does charge, I'm going to light the fire. And then I have accelerant on me, so I should be able to light it before he gets too close. And then I should be safe after that. Oh, Jesus. I've never been this close to a cougar. Okay. Get the fire ready because I'm gonna have to put it up. Yep. Okay. Now. Accelerant. Come on. Oh no. No. Is he gonna kill me? Bro. No way. Okay. I'm still alive. Torch. Thank you. My health is awful. Okay. I'm backing up. I can't. Hang on. Bandage myself. I got 3 blood loss. I don't think I have enough bandages. For this. No, this is the last one. Fuck. I'm gonna have to make a new one. I don't think I have enough. I don't think I have cloth. I think I need to tear something up. Okay, I gotta tear this up.
Damn it.
Come on.
Bleeding all over
Jesus. Fuck. Oh my god, I'm so close to death. I need to pop a stim. That's only gonna last so long. I gotta go. I gotta go. Bro, once this one runs out, I'm losing health like crazy. Come on.
If I don't warm up soon.
Oh my god. Fuck. Jesus. Okay, I gotta start a fire. I gotta get some warmth into me. I don't know where to go. Oh my god. I don't have that. I have one thing of old man's beard. One's not gonna cut it. I need antiseptic. I need something. And I'm exhausted right now too. Oh my god. Bro, I'm just losing condition sitting here. The pies come in handy, but Jesus Christ. I'm glad he doesn't chase you. We were so close to getting the photo. Oh my god. I don't think I can go up there. I have spent way too much time for this to happen. I think I'm gonna try to get up onto the cliffside. My shoes are gone too. Bro, shoes are dead. I should have kept my other pair of shoes. Bro, I don't know. Maybe I should take a photo. I don't want to do it here though. This is probably the worst spot for it. No, I can't give in that easy. At least we got some more bandages, but I need a lot, I know. The wounds are gonna reopen. Okay, I think I'm gonna go up this rope up to the left. Okay, I gotta go before it gets too dark, because I know if a blizzard hits, I'm done. I'm finished. Wow, what a sunset. If we would have got up to Wolfstraw, this sunset would have been crazy for a final photo. But instead, we are fighting for our life right now. Bro, that cougar. Jesus. Haven't you had enough? Haven't you had enough? God, what have you done? I'm a pink pony girl, and I dance at the club, oh mama. Okay, pop that. Pop the pie. We gonna pop the pie. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pop this thing. I'm gonna do it. It's just this one rope. And I get a little bit of health with it too, so let's go. Oh my god, it gets so dark. I always forget about how dark it gets. Once I get to the cave, I think I'm good. Oh, actually, I don't know if I have enough wood, but we'll start the fire at the very least. Yes. Through this little tunnel. Okay, perfect. Come on. Fully exhausted and freezing to death, I didn't think I'd make it through the night with the injuries I had sustained. So while on top of this cliffside, while not quite on Wolfstraw's overlook like I wanted to be, I accepted that my end could come tonight. So with my head hung low, I draw my lens for one final photo. That's all I can do. Oh, that's bittersweet. While it's a victory on paper, I can't help but feel like I failed the challenge. My only goal now is to survive and make it out of Ash Canyon. I managed to stumble over to a shallow cave with a moss bed and start a fire. I do all I can throughout the night to stay alive. While I didn't want to sleep, I still had to go out and grab sticks to keep the fire stoked so I don't freeze to death. Thankfully, the pies kept me awake enough to see the morning light. I found myself heading down into the angler's den, which is a nice little hut down off the lake. Here, I was able to see a glimmer of hope. If I could only stay safe and away from predators, I may have a chance at surviving this. Unfortunately, the universe had other plans. The wounds had reopened, and while I was able to bandage them back up, the infection had gotten to me. This grape had a dream, and that dream was at the end of this video, I would have all the photos I took hanging on the wall in a fully customized cabin, with flashbacks recalling all of the places I've visited and trials I've overcome. Alas, as I sit here in the dark, lonely angler's den, I can't help but think that that dream will forever be a dream. As the wounds reopen and the affection fully set in, I face the facts and realize that I will never recover from this. I didn't want to die alone in this cabin for someone to find me. No, I wanted to feed the beautiful world that has provided for me for so long. A world that is generous and cruel at the same time. It is my turn to give back. Even though the world is what did me in, I only see it fit. So with torch in hand, I leave my little home for the last time. I've come, I've conquered, and now I must pass the torch to another fierce beast.